everyone, welcome back to Jaureguiberry, your Yoga for Scoliosis community. Please do join us over on Facebook if you or one of your loved ones have scoliosis, for more inspiration, for motivation, and just virtually meeting other people who are going through the same thing as you do. So today we're going to talk about S-curves. So S-curves meaning they are shaped like an S from the back, not from the side. And the most common one is a right thoracic, left lumbar S-curve. So that's the one I'm going to cover today. If your curve is completely the other way around, so if you have a left thoracic, right lumbar curve, it's very easy to just switch the instructions around. But the most common one seems to be right thoracic, left lumbar. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you two poses. You don't need any props except for a chair, or maybe a yoga mat if you've got one, obviously. Good, so we are going to start in kneeling, and if this is uncomfortable for you under the knees, feel free to kneel on a blanket because we're going to hang out here for a little bit. And don't worry, if this is uncomfortable for you, you can always try the other pose, which is going to be standing up. Good, so we are going to start with the left leg out to the side. So left leg out to the side. We're going to have the foot flat and the toes pointing forwards. Good. So a left lumbar, let's imagine left lumbar curve goes here towards the left. So convex to the left, concaved on the right. So it means that we need to lengthen that right side here a little bit more. In the upper spine, we are convex towards the right. So we need to lengthen the left side. Now the classic pose is going over to the side like this. So I'd show you the difference in case you're going to a general group class. So we're going to modify this slightly for scoliosis. On this side, we're going to bring the right hand behind the head and squeeze the shoulder blade to the back. So we're slightly rotating the chest towards the side. And then imagine that you're still keeping that nice length here. We're just kind of slightly bending over to the left, just to get a stretch here in the right hip a little bit more. But make it a little bit more about that rotation and opening through the side. So we'll stay for a few breaths. Still imagine that space here in the upper spine on the left side. And then slowly release. Good. Let's change sides. Now the other side. Right leg is out, left leg is in. So again, the classic pose would look like this. So stretching over to the side. Now this is very good here for this left side because it will get a nice stretch. So that's exactly what we're going to do with that left arm. However, we need to slightly adjust this side a little bit, because if you imagine what's happening when we're going over to the right, that left curve is just getting worse. So I'm actually going to turn my foot up on this side. So have the toes pointing up towards the ceiling, dropping the right hip a little bit more. And you could always do this against the wall, so pressing the foot against the wall. But I feel it makes you slightly work harder if you actually need to do this yourself. So it helps to drop the right hip. So we're going to bring the right hand onto the leg, lifting the left arm up towards the ceiling and then taking the arm over, getting that lovely stretch here in the upper spine. Good, so we're not folding too much from the waist, it's just from the upper spine. Taking a few breaths. And then slowly release. Good, so I would repeat this on both sides again, so just to kind of get it into your head, and maybe also practice the classic pose just to compare, just to notice what it feels like. It's always really, really good to come back to a balanced or a neutral place to be able to compare. Good, so the other pose that I want to show you is triangle pose, and what we need for this is a chair. Good. So once you've got your chair, bring your left foot forward. So it's just underneath the edge of the chair. The right foot is turned in. And again, just to let you know, or just to show you what the classic pose, triangle pose would look like. You wouldn't usually do it with the chair. You would bring the hand onto the leg and then rotate the chest up, look up towards the top hand. So we are going to adjust this for scoliosis. We're going to bring the left hand towards the back of the chair, and this is to keep this underside, so this compressed side of the thoracic curve, nice and open. Imagine what it does here onto the waist. So this is what we want. We want this space here. And then first of all, let's just bring the arm up towards the ceiling. Stay for a couple of breaths. And then from there, we're going to bring the right hand behind the head. So just like we did in gate pose in Parighasana. And then squeezing the shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade, bringing it back and slightly rotating the chest up towards the ceiling. So this is quite strong. So if you're just starting out with yoga, please take it easy. Listen to any signals from the body. Especially once you come out of the pose, you should feel good. You shouldn't feel bad. Good. So slowly bringing yourself up. And let's change sides. Good. So on the other side again, I want the chair, the edge of the chair, the foot directly under the edge of the chair, the back foot turned in. Now again, think about your curve. It's going to the left in the lumbar spine. It's going to the right in the thoracic spine. So we want to open this space. We want to open this space. So when we're flexing forward, when we're bending over to the side, just make sure you keep the waist nice and long. The upper spine doesn't need more opening. So we're not going to extend the arm away, but just keep it in closely towards you, but turn the hand slightly out. So this is to counteract that rib hump. And then with the other arm, let's bring it up towards the ceiling. And then you can actually take it over to get a little bit more length through the thoracic spine. Again, stay for a few breaths. And then slowly bringing yourself up. Good. So I hope you found this useful and it gave you some suggestions on how you can modify your yoga practice in some of the classic yoga poses. And feel free to let me know if you've got any questions, if something wasn't unclear, or if there's anything else you want me to cover in these videos.